Are we back? Okay, that was pretty strange. Waiting on the stream to go back online. OBS says it's good. Stream's okay. Okay. A little DC there. Not too sure what happened. So, what was I saying? Basically, red team is just so blind right now that they can't actually do anything. Like, just look at red team's vision. They know where Malphite is. They have no idea where bot lane is. They have no idea where the jungler or the mid laner is. So, they're just really stuck. They're really enclosed. Like, for all they know, there's 4 members sitting in here. Obviously, there's not, right? But, like, there could be 4 members sitting in here, and they have no idea. So, their vision is just really poor right now, and they're getting punished for it. So we'll head back to everybody's vision and we'll play from where we were. Nami trying to put out some shallow wards right now. Nothing really big. And on the flip side too, if we look at blue side's vision, they don't know exactly what's up in the top side, but they have a lot of knowledge in what's in the bot side right now, right? They have 3 wards in the major jungle areas. Wukong, if he goes to his blue side, probably going to get spotted, and then Malphite will know that he's probably going to be fine. Now we're trying to put in some more deep wards. Gets punished, right? Like, she gets punished. We'll go back to that. Like, they see Nami. They see Nami because of this ward. And she just gets punished for it because there's no vision. She had no idea that these members were here. So what's going to happen? She's probably going to die for it. So she got to put down a ward. But she also gave up a kill and gave up her ulti. Not great for Nami. They do have some pretty shallow vision right now, but now that they can push, because now blue side can push because they know one member's dead. They know Kallista's down here because they saw Kallista drop a ward here, or drop a ward here. Like, that's not a big deal. Malphite knows that Wukong's mid, so he can do whatever he wants top. He can probably play really aggressive. And then Jarvan knows he can do whatever he wants because there's no vision on him. He has free reign. He's Evelyn, pre-reworked Evelyn, stealthing all across the map with the 45-second stealth. Like, it's pretty dumb. So now they get a poke around on the tower, do whatever they want. They go in for a dive. That's completely not relevant. Doesn't matter if it works or not. We're gonna X4. And we're just gonna look, right? So, Rengar had no idea J4 was there. So, what's gonna happen? Rengar's probably dead, right? Gets knocked out by Malphite, and he just gets knocked all over the map. So he's dead. Like, there's no room he could do anything. He could play super safe under the tower without his vision, but he decides not to, and he gets really punished for that. So now we see red team scrambling to put in some vision. The blue team stays a little long. They get pretty cut out for that. Kallista picks up 2 kills, but not really a big deal because the map advantage for the vision is already established. Right now we look at blue side or red side. What do they know? They know, okay, if anybody walks here, we can see them. No idea if they come in through the bottom side. Okay, we have wraiths warded. We have red buff warded. We have top try warded. We have no idea if they're sitting in this bush, if they're trying to look for a pick. We have no idea if they're mid lane right now. We have no idea if they're bot lane right now. Like, they are just so blind. And if you look at blue side's vision, what do they have? They don't have too much themselves, but they have enough of a lead based on their prior vision that Braum can step in here, throw in some pink wards, throw in some deeper blue wards, and establish a much better vision control. Right now, Jinx is a little overextended without her vision, but it's really not that bad because her team is understanding that, and her team is actually moving bot to make a play, probably for the tower, or probably for the Rengar dive, because Rengar doesn't have ulti as he used it in the top gank. But we'll see what's up. So we'll bring it down to X2, just so we can see. Braum's putting in some deeper vision. They get the blue buff because they know Rengar's bot, or he's mid, pretty free. They have no idea where Reggie is. Reggie, Nami, or Kallista. They have no idea where they are. But Doesn't really matter because they get away with the blue buff. Not super relevant. Yeah, so they're just going to push in for the tower. Malphite and J4 aren't there, but red side has no idea about that, right? They have no idea where they are. For all they know, Malphite and J4 are hanging out here. They're hanging out by Dragon, right? Like, all their vision is angled into the top side, but there's nothing going on in the top side, right? These wards are not relevant at all. So some minion waves go through, they decide they don't want to stay here anymore. Blue side deciding to go back. They have okay coverage right now, they need a little bit more in the river. Well, that was weird. I like bubbled through. That was kind of cool actually. So they're looking for a pick right now. They don't have a huge idea of where everybody is, but they have a decent coverage enough on the bot side that if they don't see anybody in the bot side, they can probably assume that those people are in the top side. So they're just gonna hang out here. They sweeped, didn't really matter. They decide to go for the Ori. Ori has to flash away, so trading sum's not a bad idea. And bot side, some stuff happened. Not really relevant though because they pushed without vision, so they got punished. Right? They just get punished. So we can even go back and watch that. So we're on blue side vision right now. So we'll go to red side vision, and we'll back out before they start fighting. Probably a little too far back, so we'll X4 until red side's chilling in the bot lane. So right about here, this is where they push out mid, or he's forced to burn flash. Bot side's looking for the push. And like, they're totally blind, right? They have no idea what's happening. They do not see a single member on blue side. So what do? They see Braum, they see a pink ward. They see Braum charging in at them. They see two members mid, and they decide to go in on Braum. They see Malphite top now, and now Jinx is unaccounted for. So now Jinx finally starts doing something. Jinx is doing damage, and they almost got away with it. Jinx flashes the wall just to clean up another kill, and then the two members mid just roam down. They had no idea that was happening. Like, just the vision is just snowballing out of control and giving blue side whatever they want for the game, that they can make like really dumb plays like this and just dive under tier 2 tower with 3 members alive. Rengar tries to make a play, gets 1 kill, probably ends up dying for it. Yeah. Like, blue side stays a little hard. They just trade 1 for 1. It doesn't even matter if you're trading kills at this point. Dragon's up really soon, and Dragon is really good for vision. It's a really good example for vision because we look at red side, right? They have no idea what's happening to Dragon. Like, Dragon is blind right now. They have no idea what's up. Ori's pushing out mid, Wukong's running down bot side, Nami's doing whatever. They have 2 members dead. They can't do anything for Dragon. Look at blue side. Blue side sees everything. They're gonna see Reggie walk down, or Wukong walk down pretty quick here. They're gonna see Nami in the bot side. They're gonna see Ori mid. They have total control for Dragon. And like, Braum can just sit in the bush, wait for a pick, sweep out just to make sure nothing's happening. Knows Ori's there because his minion wave and his wards are just so on point. And this really just sets up blue side for such an easy Dragon. Easy pick there, can't really do much. Like, they have no vision on their bot side. Like, it's basically blue side's bot side at this point. And all this vision is tying into free towers. They get the Dragon, they get the fight. The fight's not even relevant at this point. Like, of course it was going to go in blue team's favor. They got a pick. They have full control of the vision. Rengar has to run away. We can just X4 and see what's happening now. No members are in position because they're all dead. They get a free tower. They're going to rotate up probably for their second tower. Get a pick. Going for tower again. Probably get an ace. Wukong's only one alive. Style points. Right, like all that vision did was snowball their lead extensively hard. And it's basically just their game now. They've opened the gates twice. They can group together, they can push. It's just pretty much done. Jinx almost gets it, Yasuo misses the Q, not even relevant. And now, since they have vision inside their base, there's just nowhere that red side can go. Red side is just gonna red side is basically on an uphill slope right now. They're trying to climb it back up, but just can't do a lot. And they're so far ahead due to their vision control in the early game. Like, team fighting had nothing to do with this. Objective control had nothing to do with this. It was just all vision. Like, that was just the only reason why they got ahead in the style point E there. And that's pretty much it. Like, vision won the game, vision lost the game there. That's probably the best example I have, just for specific vision control. We can X8, X8's not going to really show us anything else. Like, they can go for Baron, they have no idea where Baron is, what people are doing with Baron. Like, the game is pretty much done. We'll sit at X4 just because X8 is crazy fast. And it's game. So it just really shows you like what vision can do and how vision can be abused, really. And just to end the game. And then, do we get Braum with the style point? Does Braum get the 50? Yeah, okay, Braum killed the Nexus. That was pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to Alt F4 out of that. We're going to go ahead and switch back to our main screen. We're going to bring up our old friend, the LOL planner, right? Alright, we're going to clear out these wards. Okay. So, we're playing blue side, right? So, let's say it's what? 10 minutes in the game, top side, or probably like 15 minutes in the game. Top side still probably hanging out there. Let's say blue side's doing a dragon. So we have jungler there, ADC here, support here. And now how do they properly prep for this dragon? We'll just move these guys out of the way. They're not pretty relevant right now. So they're doing the dragon, you know. They probably have a pin cord here. You know, like that's probably what most people do, and then most people put probably like shallow wards here and here so they can kind of see what's up. That's kind of wrong. And the reason for that being wrong is if you have a wave here, like a minion wave here, it can count as a ward, kinda, because you get vision of people running down in this area. If you have a wave here, it kind of counts as a ward as well, because you have people in this area. But what really happens when you don't have that wave here? Let's say that the minion wave is like pushed to their tower, right? So minion wave is attacking there. This team can easily flank from down here, and they will have no idea what's up, right? And there could even be like a TP behind them to like stop their flank or whatever. But like proper control for dragon is keeping lanes pushed and warding effectively. So these wards are kind of just like last minute things where you want to put down like 5 seconds before dragon spawns. But what you really want to do with your vision is, of course, you want to have your pink ward there. You probably want a pink ward here. Probably want a pink ward here. You probably want to have at least 3 sweepers up. You probably want to throw a green into their wolves to see which way the jungler is going. Probably want to throw a green into their banana bush so you can see where the jungler is heading in. Probably want to have a green here at blue buff so you can see when people are coming in through this side, coming in through this side. And of course, you probably want to have a green here. But another place you can have the green is here or here. So, like, this is really extensive dragon control. Like, if you had these wards, like, the dragon is pretty much yours, because this really gives your top laner such room to TP. Like, he can TP here, which is really good if they're like coming in through this choke. He can TP here if they're trying to like cut you off in this choke. Like, he can TP pretty much wherever he wants. Like, he has free reign to TP, and that's really good. And of course, the pink wards also deny the top laner enemy TP, right? Assuming this is an even game. So this is really what players want to do to set up for dragons. This is like the main warding you want to do for dragons. You don't want to do like that cheeky 5-minute prior type thing. Like, that's just not any good. And now what would you do if your blue side, your enemy has this vision, and you're not in position? Well, let's assume that we'll get rid of the pink wards for right now. We'll assume that there's some pink wards here, and we'll use the pink wards to spot for orange team. So we'll pretend that orange team's wards are pink. So let's guess. I'll guess, and I'll say that they have like a ward here, probably probably a ward if they're blue. Maybe a ward here. So what does this do? So you can see them kind of travel into the dragon from both sides. So you can make the guess that they are at the dragon. But of course, blue team does have their pink ward slapped in the middle. So you're really not gonna know. So if you're trying to combat this, you probably want to go into a flank where the minion wave is pushed, so they don't actually see you until last second. So let's just assume like the best case scenario, like this is the minion wave sitting in the middle here, and then bot lane, the minion wave sitting down here, it's attacking the tower. This is probably best case scenario, like if you want to try and combat this, but it's probably not going to happen, right? Like you won't see a dragon's HP, you won't see anybody's positioning, so you probably end up going to die. And like the worst thing ever would be if you started moving up, like you got pretty close, your top laner's TPing in, and then the other top laner TP's right here. Like you are you are just going to get roasted. So there's no real way to actually stop once this vision control is established. So we'll get rid of the wards, we'll head people back to the top laners back to their top lanes, and we will show you another example for when... It doesn't really matter where they are right now, I just want to get them out of the dragon pit. Another example for when dragon vision is really important. So we'll draw our little dragon. He's going to be the circle. He's alive, he's chilling, he's kind of like an infinity. He's like a fish. Can we give him an eye? Okay, he's a fish. So our fish dragon is going to be hanging out in the dragon pit. Let's say no team is prepared, right? Let's say minion waves are doing their own thing, so we have the minion wave sitting in the middle here, and then of course top lane has their wave sitting dead even. One's looking to push, they're both dead even, so they can't really push on each other. And we'll use the same analogy for blue side. Their vision's green, and then orange side's vision's yellow. So usually standard wards you'll have one on dragon pit, you'll have probably one here, and you'll probably have one here for blue side. And then purple side will probably have one on dragon pit, probably have one, it tries a little bit of a stretch, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe like they have super ninja wards, probably one here, and then probably one around here for dragon control, maybe even one here. I actually like that one better. It gives like pretty even playing field. So you're both sitting at pretty dead even wards. So the best way to approach dragon from this point is you want to abuse the free vision, which is your minions. So let's say we're orange team right now. So we would probably move our mid laner mid, push out the wave. ADC, we'd probably just hang out bot lane. Jungler and support would come together. This is really, really important. Jungler and support are pretty much the vision duo. So jungler and support would probably come in here, clear out some vision. ADC would probably push the wave, mid laner would push the wave, and we'll just assume, like best case scenario, mid laner needs to stay down here. A jungler is probably helping, or jungler is probably just chilling. What would support be doing right now? They would probably be doing the same thing, but we're like gonna give them the best case scenario. So best case scenario would probably be support's just helping out with the blue buff, jungler's doing his own thing with vision, trying to clear out whatever vision he can. Alright, this is pretty dead without music. I'll just turn on a little bit of background. Okay. So jungler's trying to do his own thing, clearing out vision, and this is really where the duo comes in handy, because usually supports have some kind of CC, unless you're Soraka, and then you just that's entirely different. Okay, so what was I saying? Right. So let's say best case scenario, right? Orange team has the pink vision, and then blue team has the green vision. So orange team sees the jungler walk in. We'll assume that he swept it. So we'll say that this ward's dead. We'll see orange team swept this, so this ward's dead. We'll say that these wards are still alive, whatever's sitting right now. Since there's two people here, they have two sweepers, right? They have two sweepers. So they would sweep out this. Oh wait, no, that's their vision. Oops. So we'll say they have two sweepers. So they swept out the dragon ward, and then they probably swept out this ward. Probably this ward. They probably came into the jungle together. And this is like pretty much best case scenario, right? So they see that the jungler's here. The jungler has no idea where they are. So the ADC gets to push the minion wave to tower. And that already denies a lot of vision from blue side, right? So ADC comes over back. You know, jungler is hanging out, doing his jungle thing. He's probably like poking out a little bit to see what's up. Support and jungler could get a pick. Like, jungler could die here, right? Like, the jungler could be dead. But we'll just say that he's alive. You know, he gets out, whatever, no big deal. So he gets out, he's hanging out here, and he had no idea that the ADC was coming, because free vision here. And then orange, on the flip side, at the same time for orange side, we'll say that the minion wave isn't as pushed out, but it's pushed out here. So that's some free vision, right? Some free vision. So mid lane gets free reign to move on down. And now jungler's low, ADC has to go down here for this wave. Support will probably hang out around here, throw his own little wards over, you know, probably on there, get to see the dragon. Jungler will be back in base by then. Oop. Jungler will probably be back in base by then, or healing. He'll try and go for a steal, probably die, right? Just abusing the free minion wave vision is just really effective, especially in the lower scene where people don't really have strategies for it. And by lower scene, I mean like not challenger, because this works really pretty well for a lot of it. So this is just going to be a setup dragon for orange side, or they could sit in the pit, wait for a jungler or support to ward over. If they have a Thresh, they have a Braum, they have like a Blitzcrank, you know, support will die. Even if the jungler went in for a steal, you know, you just have any kind of CC on him when he jumps over, or hold the HP and he's dead. Because usually what's going to happen is when you're doing dragon and you don't know where the jungler is, you don't know if he recalled or if he's waiting for a steal, you just ward over. Really free. And since these guys are having to clear the waves, they won't be in position for dragon. So that's just a nice little free way to get a dragon if you're on even footing and you feel like you can push an advantage. So we'll send our laners back to where they want to be, and I guess we can talk about early game. So prior to dragons, prior to whatever, really. So a good time to probably do this would be 7, 8, 9 minutes. Would be a better time. Probably 3 or 4 minutes, right? So 3 or 4 minutes in the game, right? Junglers would be doing their second buffs. So probably, you would probably be over here. We'll assume that all lanes are pretty even right now. Now let's say that the mid laner, 45 seconds ago, put in a ward here for blues, for orange side. So he sees the jungler doing this. And now, if there's some communication going on, they could say, okay, top laner, you're playing X champion that has a wave clear ability. Shove in the wave as hard as you can. Obviously, some restrictions apply, but assuming best case scenario. Okay, shove in the top laner. Alright, top laner shoved in. Alright, I'm playing a really dumb champion. Let's say I'm playing Orianna, and he's playing... let's say I'm playing Zed, because Zed's a really dumb champion. Let's say I'm playing Zed. Okay, we'll push in the Orianna. Okay, so the vision's here. They see that the jungler is going for the blue buff. So jungler can try and make a play. Top laner can swoop on over. Mid laner can swoop on over. And just because they have this one ward and the free vision they get from their minion waves, right? Like the free vision they get. They can push in, try and make a play for the buff. Try and steal the buff. Try and look for a pick. Just try and just use this, hold on to your trinkets, and get even more trinkets on here, right? Like trinkets on the buffs this early on are really important. My microphone's beeping. I don't know what that is, but not relevant right now. So let's say worst case scenario, top laner comes in, jungler flashes over the wall, jungler in mid, we're in position. You know, that's whatever. So top laner wards the Gromp, jungler runs over, wards the wolves, probably steals the wolves. Can't get the big buff. Let's say the big buff was already taken. So, jungler goes back to his buff, top laner goes back here, mid laner goes back here. What does that do? Okay, so let's say it's jungle went back to base, jungler's coming back. Let's say it's been 30 seconds, so mid laner's ward would be dead. Jungler's coming in, goes to his wolves. Oh, bot lane, jungler's topside. You can do whatever you want bot lane. If bot lane feels confident in an outplay, they can easily push up, maybe look for a single kill, double kill pick. Mid laner can push again, roam down. Like there's just a lot of opportunity you can do with this vision control, especially if you're running a composition that's designed for early game aggression. You can definitely push ahead with just simple stuff like this. And of course, it works on the flip side. You know, if you were blue side, I think it works a little bit better on blue side because the jungle entrances are a little more sneaky. You know, coming in through here and through here on the red buff for here, a little bit better, but I digress. So we'll talk a little bit more about this, and then we'll hop into our second replay. I'm gonna take a quick drink. And don't forget, you guys, any questions you guys have, feel free to let me know. Feel free to let me know. I'll answer the chat as much as I possibly can. I'm just here to help you guys learn. Alright, so let's say we're at, what would be a good time? What do you guys think? Probably Baron dancing time? Baron dancing time, probably 30 minutes. Okay. So let's say both teams are pretty even, you know, it's a low kill game, whatever. So people are still doing their things. We'll say we're doing standard lanes because that's probably most common in current ranked 5's. Alright. So, usually by this point in time, supports are roaming around doing their own thing. Supports are roaming around looking for picks, trying to make plays, and by now there'll probably be some pretty decent wards coming out. So we'll specifically say this is for blue side, because blue side has a little bit of an easier time with Baron. So you're playing blue side. Okay, you have a pink ward here. You got a pink ward probably here. Maybe an aggressive pink ward. Maybe top lane has their pink ward here. So you have a lot of pink wards on the map. You have a lot of free vision. And then of course you'll have some green wards, right? Like we'll give them the benefit of the doubt here, and we'll say that they got in some pretty decent wards, like nothing huge, but probably just some shallow wards. So we'll give them something there, and they're arguably going for Baron side right now, so their bot side vision isn't as important. So we'll probably give them a ward on their Baron buff, probably a ward on their try, and this is excuse me. And we'll say that the mid towers, tier 1s, are pretty much done at this point. We can even see the top ones are pretty done at this point. And then here's where lane warding comes really in handy, right? Because lane warding basically gives you the vision of their tower, their old tower that's now dead. So it gives you a lot of things to do. So let's say like these are pretty okay wards, right? Like there's nothing too huge. You have no idea what orange side is doing with their stuff. So support and jungler are probably going to come up here. They're probably going to clear out some on top of the Baron wards. There's still probably some wards to see the actual laners. But this is where it really comes in handy, is if you group, and optimally you'll have 3 sweepers here, 3 or 4 sweepers here. Mid laners either go for scrying or sweeping orb, or sweeping. So let's say he's playing Xerath. Xerath's cool. Xerath goes sweeper, or goes scrying. So they're gonna push up. They know that there's a pink ward here. There's no vision in here. They can actually sit in the pink ward. They cleared out all the Baron wards, so there's no actual wards on top of Baron buff. And this is what I like to call a Fnatic, because Fnatic does this quite a lot. So we'll say, okay guys, they might be doing Baron, orange side. Orange side saying, okay guys, they might be doing Baron. We gotta go check. Okay guys, I'll go throw a ward over, says the support. Support comes on over, walks into 4 people, dies. And we'll just assume that the mid laners move it over to mid lane because ADC is just trying to scrape whatever farm they can. So they get a pick. Maybe the support's a little bit smarter. Support walks on over to the red side, pops a ward over, ward instantly dies, and then they start playing a little more safe. So they move over to mid lane. Mid lane, push up the wave to run down to get a better concave, better angle at the Baron. So what do? So clear the ward here, clear the ward here, clear the ward here. So now their top side jungle is totally gone, and assuming that they're pushing up, orange side has no vision of what's going on over here. They don't have any lane vision due to prior. They probably sneaked a couple wards in the lane or whatever, but nothing really big. And then you just gotta play the waiting game, really, where they push up, you show yourself here, you know, they back off. You guys push in the wave again, and then this is where you win, because effectively you're in the same scenario you were before, but you cleared out the majority of their jungle vision and got jungle vision. You know, like while you're up there, you probably throw that's probably way too deep of a ward. So you'd probably like throw one on the red buff, probably throw one here. Your pink ward would still probably be here, you know, and then you still have Baron control. So you can just do a lot of good stuff. Here is where vision can win you the game, because everyone's focused on Baron. You can push up mid wave, you know, push them back a little bit farther. Rotate top. They have no idea where you are. They have no vision. Rotate to Baron. They have no idea you're doing Baron. You know, just like rotate in between, sit in a bush, wait for a death bush. Like, there's just so many options you can do, and that's just based purely on vision. So that's enough of on-paper stuff, I think. Nothing really else to talk about, I think, for the on-paper type stuff. I think so, anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much like basic stuff. So we'll go ahead and put the laners back in their spot in case we decide to come back to this later. So the junglers with the buff, top pointer and top lane. So again, you guys, any questions you guys have, anything you're not too sure on, not too keen on, feel free to let me know. I'll answer it to the best I can. I think we are going to open up replay numero dos. Can't think of anything else that I want to go over. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. So, let's say we're playing orange team, right? Orange team, so. You're playing orange team. You have full control over the game. Now you have, like, wards here, a couple wards here. You know, like, it's like littered with wards. Maybe you have a pink ward here, maybe you have a pink ward here, pink here. And you're struggling to break down their walls. So, like, let's say you're, like, I don't know, like, 5,000 gold ahead, you've only lost a couple towers, maybe just your top and bot outer. You've killed out all of these towers. And you're struggling to actually break down the wall into the enemy base. You have multiple choices here. Now here's where a lot of teams really show their diversity and how good they are, because I think there's 3 things you can do with the vision game that you have right now. Like, assuming you have optimal vision, assuming that the only vision blue side has is like on the outside of their base, you know, maybe a couple lane wards. You can just starve them out. You can go for dragons whenever dragons are up. You can go for barons whenever barons are up, you know, like if it's safe to do so, right? Like dragons are probably a little bit safer. You can group as 5 top, you know, you can throw your mid laner top if he's playing someone like stupid like Zed. Throw your top laner top if he's throw your top laner bot if he's playing someone stupid like Irelia, like these 1v1 gods. You could do that, try and break the wall that way. But the most optimal way to break down the wall once this happens is to just drain out your opponent, you know? Push the wave in on all sides, go to their jungle, boom, 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 take all their stuff. Boom, 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 take all their stuff. Get red timers, blue timers. Head on over to Baron, kill the Baron, or bait the Baron. Head on over to Dragon, kill the Dragon, bait the Dragon. Just a lot of things you can do. And that's where I think a lot of teams struggle, is closing out those kind of games where you just can't break down the walls. It's really just draining out your opponent and waiting for them to outplay themselves. And the same kind of rule applies when you're behind in a game. You just need to wait for your opponent to outplay themselves, because usually they're going to outplay themselves with vision. They're not going to have any knowledge as to what's happening, and then you can really just take advantage of that. So now we're going to hop into our replay numero dos. Coming at you real quick, just fixing this in case I want to use this later. And that's looking good, so we're going to minimize you. Going to go ahead and open up replay number 2. Gonna pause out the music because in-game music is the best music. Alright, hopefully this is looking good. Just double checking. Alright, everything's looking good. So, a little bit of downtime while the game loads up, and I can just X2 its way through. So this was a game, let me check my notes really quick actually. So this was a game where blue side had the game won, but then just threw a little bit due to vision, but they still ended up winning, just because red side's vision was pretty poor. But it just really shows you how this game's like #1 fundamental point in competitive play is just knowing what's happening and using that information to correctly assess what you want to do. You know, like I'm actually just gonna pause. You know, like let the timer speed up a little bit while I talk about this, because this is a really important point. I should have talked about this in the beginning. Usually a team has a shot caller, right? And that shot caller uses information he currently knows to assess and determine the correct play for the for whatever he's doing. You know, a dragon fight, baron fight, team fight, you know, he needs information to know this. You know, like cooldowns are cool, you know, no flash, no heal, no ignite on this guy, you know, no ulti on this guy, like that's fine. But what are you gonna do if he doesn't know where the enemies are? What are you gonna do when he doesn't know if they're waiting in a death bush? What are you gonna do if he doesn't know that they're all like rotating bot? You know, he can't make the correct decision without the necessary information, and that's just a really important point. Like, without the proper information you get from vision, you're never going to make the correct play. And if you do, you're probably doing it because your team is just far better than their team, or you're doing it just because luck. Like vision fundamentally is the growing point for most competitive teams. So we'll X2 our way through this game, head on over to directed camera. I don't think anything funny really happens.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Team's just doing their excuse me, team's just doing their walls. Making sure no funny stuff's happening. So, and even like right now, if we look at like this is a little more in depth, right? But the same principles apply. Look at blue side versus orange side. So orange side, they have Jace, LeBlanc, Zyra, Graves, Jarvan. So what does that tell you? That tells you that, okay, LeBlanc's probably gonna one-shot somebody. Let's make sure that we know where LeBlanc is, so the ADC doesn't die. You know, they have a J4, so we're probably not going to want to fight in the jungle blind. They have a Jace, so we're probably going to want vision if we're sieging, so we don't get poked or flanked by the Jace. Just stuff like that, and the same applies for blue side. You know, oh, they have a Zed. Zed's probably going to split push. Let's get proper vision to see where Zed's going, when he's going. Thresh, oh, they have Thresh. Let's keep out of death bushes. Let's keep bushes warded for hooks, you know, all that other stuff. And the same applies for Lissandra. You know, Lissandra has TP, Lissandra can TP behind you, ulti your AD carry, and then everyone just gets sad. Like, that's a little more in depth, but like, you see how vision relates to what the champions want to do and how they can do it. So we'll hit up X4 because I talked a little bit. Been doing this for almost an hour. Probably keep this going for a little bit longer. So what happens in the early game really isn't too good. No one's really making a play that I was talking about earlier. The bot lane's doing their thing, jungler's doing their thing. You know, even if you're like really behind in a game, like you're 0-4, 0-5, you're 0-5 down 2 towers, down a dragon, you can just come back with vision. Like sitting in a bush and just waiting for somebody to show up is just so good, you know? Like just sitting in a death bush, getting that pick, and then abusing the 4v5 just because the enemy team didn't have the correct vision. Like that's just so good. Like people really need to understand that if they want to grow into like a semi-pro or competitive 5's team. Of course, mid lane stuff's happening. Okay, now here's something in my notes, right? So look at blue side. Okay, we're gonna chase down LeBlanc. LeBlanc is going to die because I have flash. Probably Zed saying I have flash. I have combo. I have combo in 2 seconds. I have ignite. She's probably dead. She doesn't have flash. So they go. So Zed shadows, autos, uses his combo, and Jarvan comes out of nowhere, right? Like they had no idea Jarvan was there. They didn't even see him mid lane. So Jarvan comes in, flashes over, EQs Zed, and unfortunately LeBlanc dies to ignite. And now this is kind of an okay example, but you get to see here. They had no idea J4 was there, but they didn't care, you know? How do I word it properly? How do I articulate it? It's kind of like, okay, like you kind of just go back to where like LeBlanc was super low and like Zed was like, okay, I have combo. A little bit farther than that, probably 420. Blaze it. All right. So like you go like right here, like, wait, where's Jarvan? Where's Jarvan? It doesn't really matter, right? Like even if Jarvan was a little bit closer, it wouldn't change anything. They're fully aware that Jarvan could be around the corner, and they decided to chase the kill, and Jarvan shows up, but nothing really changes, right? Like they already made the call to go for the kill. They didn't care where Jarvan was because Jarvan wouldn't be able to save LeBlanc. And they just get to turn it around. They get a free double kill. They get a free Zed with red buff. Like, oh, Zed doesn't get red buff there actually. Well, they get a free double kill there, and that's strictly because they made the correct decision based on their information. You know, what if Jarvan shows up? You know, shot caller will say it doesn't matter. Get the kill. Turn for the double kill. Caitlyn dies in a solo kill, it doesn't really matter. But bot lane got to make that decision because they knew that Vi was mid lane. And they overstayed a little bit, no vision, didn't know Vi was coming. Actually, I was on blue side actually. Not on. Well, look at the wards, right? They had no idea Vi was coming, so it was pretty free for them. Pretty free for blue side. We'll go back to everybody's vision right now, and Zyra passive OP, I guess. So the game isn't really in anybody's favor except for Zed. Zed's just gonna be really far ahead of LeBlanc. Can snowball the lane. He's level 6 before she's level 6. She used distortion. She's gonna get punished for it. Jarvan's hanging out, so he can't really go for the dive. But it really doesn't matter. So now we get to see the abuse of the decision early and what they can do now. So Zed. You know what? I can 1v1 anybody on their team. If you hang out with me, if you're kind of chilling around mid lane, anybody goes for these pink wards, we can get a kill. So a pink ward's placed here, and then a Vi shortly after puts a pink ward here. Here or here. One of those, I'm pretty sure. Of course, the ward here, they see Vi run in, they see Vi put in the pink ward. And they see this thing, so they have vision of Vi. But it really doesn't matter, right? Because how are you going to stop this? Zed's level 6, Zed has a Cutlass. Well, his Cutlass is down, but they probably don't know that. And Vi's almost level 6, almost has an ulti. Like, how are you going to clear out these pink wards safely? It's going to be really hard soon. These pink wards are probably going to last for a little while, and that's just going to give them so much free information based on Jarvan. See what Jarvan's doing. It'll allow bot lane to... excuse me, really allow bot lane to come back into the game and really allow bot lane just to make the correct decisions based on information. And there's even a ward on his wolves, right? Is that right? A ward on wolves? Yeah. On pink ward here, you know, just clearing out any vision they don't want. They see LeBlanc's getting the blue buff. They get a pretty okay timer on the blue buff if you just time that. Like they got a little bit out of that. Zed's roaming around, rewards the wolves, doesn't care about the pink ward, and he just kills him for free, right? Like we can go back. We can do that a little bit better than I was doing. So 745, pretty okay. Okay, pause. J4. You know, he's like, okay, you know, I'm probably safe. Pink ward protecting me from river into my river into my jungle. This is protecting me from a jump over. He sees Vi down here. Doesn't know where Zed went. All he knows is that Zed went down, but I don't think the sword actually saw him, or they didn't ping that the sword saw him. Oh, no, he went this way, right? I'm pretty sure he went that way. Actually, I just want to double check that. Just to make sure I'm not looking dumb. Okay, well, like he sees the Zed, right? But it's not for very long. So maybe he just doesn't see it. Maybe nobody sees it. Doesn't make the correct information. Doesn't make the correct decision. There's a ward on his wolves now. Zed comes over. You know, like he just didn't have the vision to understand what was happening. And then of course, you know, free dragon. They don't even know dragon's gone. They don't get a dragon timer. They get a pretty rough one, but they don't get an actual dragon timer. Vi comes in bot, nothing happens. Zed's bot too, doesn't really matter. They got a double kill bot lane. And this is pretty important too. So if you're looking on purple side's point of view, what lane is winning? What lane has the best chance of carrying the game? Well, probably bot lane. So what do? They focus pretty much all of their vision onto making sure bot lane's safe. Now they could do a little bit of a better job if Zyra and J4 went into the bot side jungle for blue side together. You know, putting like a shallow ward here, maybe one on the red buff, and even maybe a Zyra throwing one here next time they push up the lane. Like, that would do so much for them. That would let bot lane just make all the correct decisions. Because right now they're in an okay spot. You know, like they probably won't die if they're behind bush number 2. But if they push up even here, you know, Zed comes in from here, shadows over alt, or comes here, shadows over alt, probably not gonna have a good time. So they're investing a lot of vision to bot side, because bot side is like their best chance of winning. But they're not doing it correctly, is I guess the point I'm making. Which what they're doing is like totally fine, right? Like, you know, like this is our best lane. Let's make sure this lane's safe. This lane grows. This lane carries. And then if we look on the flip side for blue side is pretty shallow wards, but deep wards. Now that's the main difference. They have pretty okay deep wards. They get to see Jarvan. They get to see what Jarvan's doing pretty much all the time. And he sees Jarvan here, you know, Jarvan's probably at the blue buff, not at the blue buff. He's hanging around, just making sure. So that happened. And then this part's pretty irrelevant, because I'm pretty sure this is just a 1 kill. Zed gets a single, no, Vi gets the single, and then LeBlanc gets out. And then we can pretty much just X for it until probably the next dragon fight, where the vision really starts showing. And I'm pretty sure Zed clears 2 pink wards here. No, he doesn't clear 1. But no, that TP saved her, so that was pretty lucky of her. Not really lucky, but that was a pretty okay for blue, because they got the TP, didn't lose anything, gained the enemy using TP. And Zed just running into the base. Okay, TP, picking up a double kill. Dragon's in 40 seconds. So we'll X to it for right now. Dragon's in 40 seconds. So what's gonna happen for blue side? They have okay vision, you know, like some run amok wards. But let's see what happens between the warding duo. Like, this is pretty important. The warding duo should go in together and ward. They don't really care. They see 4 members right now. They see 4 members. They engage on the 2 people because they're pretty weak with their 5 or their 4. They end up trading 1 for 1. They lose their jungler, and this is really risky, right? They don't see where Jarvan is. They have no idea where Jarvan is. Actually, they see. Oh, did they kill Jarvan? Oh, okay. They traded junglers. They traded junglers, so this is anybody's dragon. So they decide to leave it be, and then I'm pretty sure red side takes it. And another point to make is look at the free vision here. If we look at red side Let's pretend like this ward's dead, right? Like, how long? 2 seconds? We'll play it out till it dies. Okay. So, free minion vision. Free minion ward from blue side, you know? Like, they get to see everything over here. And red's vision is kind of like scummed out. Like, blue side could group as 4, come in through here, fight. Like, just these possibilities could happen. And Dragon's dead, they get a timer. They get to see people, where they're going, what's happening. Zed going top lane to probably split push. He has Bork, and Brutalizer can probably 1v1 anybody. Really not too much else to talk about. Not really good wards for anybody right now. And then here's where blue side kinda slips up just because they don't have proper vision. You know, like, they don't see where 3 people are. They're making pretty ballsy plays to push down here. Zed's not in a position to split push. They only have 4 members here. They don't know where the other members are. And I'm pretty sure that they lose this fight. So they lose that. No, they actually go even on that fight, which is pretty astonishing. But actually, yeah, Zed comes and cleans up. But like, you can just see how like their vision is making it so much harder for them just to win. Because Zed's 6-0. Like Zed could easily 1v2 at this point. Could easily do a whole lot. Zed dies. Zed doesn't respect anything. You know, like no vision. And I'm pretty sure that's the majority I wanted to talk about for that game was like the part up until 20 minutes, and then I think the rest is just free fall, LeBlanc DCs, not relevant at all because Caitlyn dies, or Lissandra dies. We're looking specifically at blue side vision right now, and then look at orange side's vision. You know, they have jungle wards. They know what's up in the bot side. Some happy feet going on top side. Purple side or orange side's pushing up without wards, so they get collapsed on, forced to burn summoners to get out. Like everything's starting to tie in together. Dragon's gonna be up in probably 2 minutes. Oh, Dragon just died. Dragon's up in 6 minutes. You know, they didn't have vision on Dragon, couldn't stop Dragon. And they're just struggling right now. If we look at blue side vision, you know, they at least have deep wards top side, not exactly in bot side, but they have kind of an understanding about bot side because they see Graves. They probably know Anolis is next to Graves. They see 4 people top side. Like, just the vision's giving them the correct decisions. We'll X8 it for a little bit. Nothing really changing. Just the vision early that snowballed blue team is just so good, you know? Like, it's just so great. Like, there's just nothing orange side can really do. Like, they're picking up kills here and there. That's probably just because blue side's getting cocky. But, like, there's just not a lot that can happen. Dragon's up. They have full dragon control. Nothing that can really happen. Zed's really fed. Zed can 1v1 anybody. Zed's been abusing the fact that orange side has been using really poor wards. They get another dragon. That's dragon number 3. They try and Fnatic, Death Bush. Nothing really happens on the Death Bush. And that's just pretty much how the game ends, based on that. Like, it just keeps going like that. So we'll X4 it until something really cool happens. So that was kind of cool. Like, that was just blue side not having vision of behind the pit, and they got collapsed on. But that wasn't really, like, super cool. There's one last point I want to go over, and then this game's pretty much done. Should be happening around 32 minutes. Should be around here. Okay, we're gonna swoop it back to ×2, and then come back to 30, 50. Okay. So they're pushing bot, you know, 4 people. We go look at blue side's vision. Oh, hey, they have nothing. They see where 3 people are. They know Jace is top. They see 4 people bot, so it's a 4-on-4, right? Like, they know it's a 4-on-4. Jace dies, so Zed gets free reign to push top. And they still decide to fight. They kind of, like, throw away an advantage here, which was the incorrect decision, but... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the right fight. Was it? No, that was the wrong fight. I'm pretty sure it was under tower here. Or I have the notes from the wrong replay up. Yeah, it was under tower here, you know? Like, they just overstayed. They got cocky. They got... Would have gone a lot worse for them. Let me say it that way. Jace was 1 auto from each one to kill them. Lissandra gets out with the skin of her teeth, and that's pretty much the game, right? Like, the vision early snowballed Zed. Zed's single-handedly carrying the game. Other champions are getting fed based off of the fact that Zed's really fed. And the game is pretty much over. All I have to do is break the walls, and they're just so far ahead, they can just push in and kill it. They got on for Dragon again, Dragon number 4. You know, just like getting insurance to the fact that they're going to win the game. Recalling at the same time, not having a whole lot of vision. And game's over in 2 minutes, or 1 minute. So 20 more seconds left. And it's just breaking down the walls at this point. Like, Orange team doesn't have any vision outside of their base, if we look. Any relevant vision outside of their base. Like, what are they even warding for down here? Like, they can't really push out without dying, because they're effectively 10k gold behind. So, these wards are pretty useless. Basically, the only wards you want is a lane ward here, and then a ward here. Like, that's pretty much best case scenario, but they have pretty useless vision. They have a pink ward here, which is fine, but they just lose. They just lose because they didn't have the right vision early. That was pretty well, like, just the whole point of these last 2 games was using vision right and using vision wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and alt F4 out of the game. Switch the scene right on back over. My voice is starting to wreck me. Voice is starting to wreck me, so I am probably gonna call that the episode for today. It ran for about 1 hour and 10 minutes, which wasn't terrible. So hopefully I helped you guys learn about the vision. Only 2 games today. Usually we'd probably run 3 or 4, but yeah, throat's killing me. I'm gonna call it a little bit early, so thank you guys for watching. And again, any people in the chat room that have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll answer them off stream. And thanks for watching, guys.
Coochie girls from all around the world. Watch them as they dance across the floor. And if you have the time and you can spend the time, these girls will keep you coming down.